Welcome to Agent PHL on site. Standing here with John Weiss of Equinox Management and Construction up on the rooftop terrace at Otto on the Park. Beautiful boutique new development overlooking Fairmount Park in the Brewery Town section of Philadelphia, as you can see with the skyline directly behind us. This building is situated in the core of Brewery Town at 31st and Jefferson. So John, you've developed all over the city, University City, Temple. Here in Brewery Town, why did you choose to do this project here in Brewery Town when you could have gone elsewhere in the city?
Great question. Thanks for taking time out to chat today, Ryan. So we're actually looking for a spot to do another condo project. We had done one in Francisville called Folsom Powerhouse that had a lot of success. We found that there was an unmet market for moderately priced condos in a building of scale that's got a little bit of amenities and a true condo association where your property can sort of be taken care of for you by the association. And so we actually came across a different site in Brewery Town that looked intriguing, and that got us aware of the density of development that was happening along the 31st Street corridor. So there's been a lot of multifamily, mostly rental development all along the 31st Street corridor, creating a whole great little pocket of revitalized old industrial buildings and new modern construction. And we're just attracted to that density. We're also attracted to the location, whereas it's just minutes from Center City, just minutes from Fairmount Park. It's easy to get on 76 and get out to the burbs. So there's a whole variety of factors that just made it a very attractive location.
How did the market receive the original Otto building? And now that we're 50% sold here at Otto on the Park while under construction, how has the market received this building?
It's been strong reception throughout. Again, we found that there's unmet demand for reasonably priced, high quality, luxury finishes, well designed, well thought out building, parking available for every unit, nice common spaces, all at a very reasonable price. And we found that there's a lot of demand for that. So the first phase sold out fairly quickly, and we've got really rapid sales here going in phase 2 as well.
So here in Brewery Town, you've got access to Fairmount Park, you've got access to the Girard Avenue commercial corridor. What is it about this dynamic location that has seen so many residents move in over the last 10 years and create a new sense of dynamism that's really uplifted the neighborhood as a whole?
Well, I think it's certainly a combination of the location, which is really tremendous. Again, if you can see in the background, Center City's right there. Fairmount Park's just over here. I think that our buyers have all been excited about the opportunity to get into a neighborhood where it's still somewhat in the early phases of its development. So there's a lot of townhouse redevelopment going on throughout the townhouse blocks out here, the row house blocks, and it's an area where the property, the activity's only begun over the last few years versus neighborhoods like Fairmount or Queen Village or somewhere where it's a longer runway. So I think it's a nice opportunity for people to get involved from the start and see their investments appreciate, as well as a great place to live.
That's a great parallel, John, because you can go one neighborhood over and pay $300 per square foot more, or you can go into Center City or Rittenhouse, even over closer to the Parkway, which is still just one zip code away, and you're paying $1,500 a square foot, whereas you're paying an average of around $410 a square foot here at Otto on the Park, and you've still got access to amenities like this beautiful rooftop lounge that we're on that has an outdoor kitchen, lounge, dog run, unbeatable skyline views. It's a green roof, sustainable feature. And that also brings to question why you chose to do this building as a condo with for sale units versus a rental building leasing the apartments.
Yeah, we like to do a mix. We actually have a project called the Glenwood just up the block, which is a rental, 49 unit rental project that we're completing. But we like to offer a mix of product. We think that there is demand for buyers, and most of the development that's gone on in the 31st Street corridor at scale has been rental products. So we felt that the market had a need for properties that people could own. And the way our pricing works out, you really can own here for about the same as it would cost you to rent in one of the neighboring buildings.
So obviously we're on a construction site. And throughout the last couple of years, there have been challenges and obstacles for every developer across the city, across the country, in terms of labor shortages, supply chain delays. So how have you navigated those obstacles, and how have you overcome those obstacles?
Just rode harder. I mean, it's been tough, no doubt about it. We're delivering this project close to a year later than we had originally thought we would, which is really difficult and costly, but we've just been fighting through it. I mean, the parts of the successes are, we're a general contractor. We build our own projects. We also build projects for other folks. So we've got a really good network of subcontractors, and we focus a lot on those relationships. So when things get tough, they're still coming through for us, and we're coming through for them. So it's relationships with our subcontractors. It's being nimble and working around solutions. If you can't get certain materials, you might have to switch to other materials. And it's perseverance. It's certainly been an uphill battle trying to get work completed during this time, but we're just about there here and hoping to deliver these units in the next month or so.
The experience certainly helps when navigating those uphill challenges. So a company like Equinox definitely has the experience behind them to overcome those hurdles and get these units to completion. And we're now looking at summer right around the corner for our first residents to take occupancy within the building. And we've got a number of 1-bed units, 2-bed units, 3-bed units, and penthouses in the floor just below us on the 5th floor. Limited availability remaining for sale. As I mentioned, we are over 50% sold out pre-construction. So very good performance from a sales perspective. Switching back to the neighborhood and you, John, what is it about Brewerytown? You're a neighborhood resident in addition to being a stakeholder in the community. So you live nearby. Tell us about what your favorite places are in the neighborhood, where you like to go, which businesses you prefer to patronize the most, and what is it about Brewerytown that you call home that you like so much?
So yeah, as when I discovered the neighborhood and what was going on here, I moved here myself as well a couple years ago. I'm renovating an old industrial space for myself, and there's, as you said, there's tons of great amenities. I mean, right along Girard Avenue, there's a bunch of independent food and beer places. There's Spot Burger, there's Rye Brew, there's Crime and Punishment, lots of interesting, independent, great eating and drinking to be had. There's also some right along 31st Street. There's a beer distributor that's about to open up, a pet grooming shop. There's a wonderful kids play space, Kith and Kin, right next door. We've had a dance studio just open up in our commercial space in Otto Phase 1. And so those are all great amenities. But on top of all of that is the access to Fairmount Park, which is really the coolest thing here. It's right there. If you hop on your bike, you can be on Kelly Drive in about 2 minutes and biking up and down the Schuylkill River Trail. Right 2 blocks away is the Sedgley Woods Disc Golf Course. There's a traditional golf driving range next to that. And there's also the incredible Discovery Center, which is an old reservoir that the Audubon Society and Outward Bound Philadelphia came in and renovated and reclaimed and made into a wonderful nature preserve, which is really a jewel in Philadelphia. If you haven't seen the Discovery Center, it's worth checking out. So really, access to the park is pretty cool.
So you've got unrivaled access to urban amenities, everything right at your fingertips, including Fairmount Park, which is the nation's largest urban outdoor park, all within walking distance from Otto on the Park here in beautiful Brewerytown. John, thanks for spending time with us today up here on the rooftop at your latest project. Real quick before we go, what's next for Equinox?
Great question. So we are just getting going on a set of townhouses in East Falls, right near Laurel Hill Cemetery. And we have another project where we're now erecting steel. It's a 128 unit apartment building in Kensington, right near the York Dolphin train station, which is another dynamic little pocket where there's a whole concentration of activity. So we've got a couple good projects in our pipeline as well.
Interesting, interesting. Yeah. All over the city. Well, thank you for spending time with us. This is Agent PHL on site. We'll see you next time.